Hello, everyone. A very good afternoon and welcome to the final day of the Malaysia Fest virtual event. My name is Aisha Sinclair and I am your host for today. Now, before we start, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of country throughout Australia and recognize their continuing connection to land, waters, and community. I pay them my respects to them and their cultures, to the elders, both past and present. Welcome, guys. For those of you who just joined us today, well, it's the end of a 3-day event. A little bit about Malaysia Fest, though. It's a student-led, non-profit organization in Sydney, Australia. And every year they organize a cultural event showcasing Malaysia's identity and culture to everyone in Australia. So this is Malaysia Festival's first online event ever. We launched it last Friday. Like I said, it's the end of a 3-day thing. Now, in previous years, the event had been held in Tumbalong Park. Sorry if I said it wrong. I've never been there. To Tumbalong Park in September. That's usually the time that it's been held. And it is actually one of the largest cultural events in Sydney. Now, this year, it's going to focus on the theme of diverse Malaysia, which showcases the unique side of Malaysia and its rich diversity and cultural heritage. And it's also in conjunction with Malaysia Day, which we celebrated on the 16th of September. It's a national holiday here in Malaysia. Now, we're very fortunate today to have the massive support of Malaysia's Ministry of Agriculture and Food Industries, who have collaborated with the team throughout the whole event. And today is really exciting because we will be having a cooking demonstrations by one of our popular chefs for an authentic baba and nyonya dish. So make sure you pay attention to the cooking demo, because after that, there's going to be a little quiz session with our chef. And you guys can win awesome prizes. There's also, please take note, that during the cooking demonstration and also several moments throughout today, we will be sharing with you a very special link in the comment section. You're going to be seeing it real soon, and sometimes it pops up on the screen. It will lead you to a registration page, and you need to register your name to take part in the Wheel of Fortune, i.e. our lucky draw, which is going to be taking place later on today around 3:10 p.m. Aussie time, and you get to win some amazing prizes. we've got third place, second place, first place, and also grand prize. So we've got an overnight stay at the Grace Hotel in Sydney. That's one of the prizes. Malaysia Airlines travel voucher worth up to $500. Apple AirPod Pros, and the grand prize is an Apple iPad Pro. So that's actually pretty cool. Worth taking a few seconds to just follow that link and register. But remember, if you want to win those prizes, you need to stick around to the end of the show, because unfortunately, if you're not there virtually to claim your prize, we're going to have to spin the wheel again with someone else. So make sure you stick around with us the whole day. Prizes, we've also got some really cool stuff happening. So today's guest here on the show is a renowned Malaysian Australian chef. She won the MasterChef Australia back in 2017. She has hosted an Australian cooking show for 2 seasons called Asia Unplated. And she is devoted in showcasing the unique and local flavors of Asia to her audience. Now, in today's event, we'll be having her for a demo, and she will be making a baba and nyonya dish, which is herb rice, or Nasi ulam, which is actually one of my favorite dishes, and a prawn dumpling. And remember to stick until the end, because we've got a pop quiz session with our special guest, and you will win a chance to stay overnight at the Grace Hotel in Sydney. Okay, so it is now with a great pleasure I would like to introduce our special celebrity chef for today, the very talented Diana Chan. Diana, are you there?
Hi, Aisha. I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. Oh my gosh, you've got it all set up over there. It looks great.
I know. Well, there's a lot of ingredients in what I'm going to be making today. As you said, nasi ulam, there's probably, I think, like 20 ingredients in this dish, but it's going to come together and it's going to be so beautiful and so yummy.
I know. It's going to be like worth all the effort in the end, because essentially it's a lot of prep work, right? That goes into cooking Asian dishes.
And you know what? Today's dish, we're not actually cooking. So it's actually putting it together. But it's one of those dishes that I grew up eating, and you said it's one of your favorites. Mum used to make it when I was a kid, and it's one of those things that I've always loved and carry on until I've moved to Australia, and I still make it.
You know, it's also very healthy. It's like one of those really healthy dishes, because so ulam, which is herbs, it's like the Malaysian salad lah, for anybody who doesn't know, right? And then so you'll have ulam raja, gaga, daun selum, all of these types of ulam, English names. Those are, I just threw some Malaysian names there. But you know, this is the kind of stuff that you might have growing in your garden, that kind of a thing.
Yes, absolutely. And you know, here in Australia, I think we're very lucky to get pretty much, I would say 90% of the ingredients that you need to make a lot of Asian dishes, you know, bar 1 or 2 things that you can't find, but, you know, depending on the weather, but a lot of things you can find up north in like Queensland and Darwin as well. Like the other day, like a couple of years ago when I was in Darwin, I was really surprised, you know, bunga kantan?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, they use it as like decoration. Like they you know, they put the flowers in a pot and then in a vase, and I was very surprised. But it grows everywhere there, and because the weather is so perfect to grow that, but you can't find it here in Melbourne. You can't find fresh ones.
Yeah, it's a bit colder in Melbourne, right? Because I know Darwin has more of a, you know, tropical weather, that kind of a thing, which is very similar to the rest of Asia. Okay, so yeah, I'm just going to remind everyone right now that the recipe of the 2 dishes that you're going to be preparing today, the nasi ulam and also the prawn dumpling, will be accessible on Malaysia Festival's website, Instagram, and Facebook. So you can actually, you know, go there right now, download it, and then try it for yourself at home. Okay, so I am going to hand over the floor to you, because I can't wait to see you do this.
Awesome. Okay, so let's get started, I guess, you know. So in front of me, I just wanted to show you the ingredients that goes into a nasi ulam. So obviously you need your rice. So I've got here a large bowl of steamed basmati rice. You can use jasmine rice or anything, but you need your rice to be warm. That's why I've sort of like covered it. I'm gonna cover it again. So just cooked this about 5 minutes ago. So let's just leave that there. And then I'm gonna run through the herbs with you, yeah? So in front of me is this massive array of herbs. And I love eating herbs. Like here in my household, we have a lot of rice paper rolls as well. So because of like it's super healthy. You can get herbs readily available at the market. And it's just one of those things that's so good to have during the week. And you actually feel really healthy after eating it. So in front of me here, obviously everybody knows what this is chili. And then here there's lemongrass, otherwise known as serai. This is very important for nasi ulam. In Australia, they call it betel leaf or wild pepper leaf. Otherwise, in Malay, it's known as daun kadut. So this is really, really important. You need this when you're making nasi ulam. Everything else is kind of like a little bit of a variation. So you can have, mint is another one that's really important. And then, I've got Vietnamese mint. I've got some Thai basil here, and then some coriander. So, there's all sorts of different herbs that you can use, but the two main ones are mint and daun kadut, which is wild pepper leaf. So what we're going to do is we're going to be chopping all of them, plucking and chopping. And that's pretty much the bulk of the work when you're preparing this dish. Also, I'm going to show you this one I prepared earlier. So this is basically desiccated coconut, and I've toasted it. So it smells really nice, and you need this in this dish as well. And then this here is basically heavy, so dried shrimp, and then you soak it, you rehydrate it, and then you blend it into like this sort of like coarse breadcrumbs. So also need it in this dish. But if you want to make this dish vegetarian, you can leave this out. Entirely up to you. And then obviously our beloved sambal belacan, which is basically chili and belacan. Smells a little, but tastes very good. And I guess that's it, and then you just need some salt. So we're gonna make this dish. So if there's any questions along the way, Aisha, let me know, and then I'll try and answer, okay? Cool. All right, so in this large bowl, what we're gonna do is, in this large bowl, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna add in all the herbs, okay? So we've got here, I'm gonna start with the shallot. So I'm gonna cut this up. And if you don't have shallot, you can use a red onion as well, so that's no problem. Okay, so I'm going to only slice this. So I'm not sure if anyone's making this at home, but if you do, let me know if you've got any questions along the way. Otherwise, as Aisha said earlier, the recipe is up, so you can definitely head to Malaysia Fest website and get the recipe, and you can do it later. All right, so we're gonna add this to the rice, so that goes in. So warm rice, remember that. So I used some basmati rice. You can use jasmine rice. You just don't want to use too short a grain kind of rice, but apart from that, it should be fine. All right.
Okay, so we have some questions coming in, Diana. I'm sorry, my internet connection was suddenly quite bad just then.
Yeah,
and I was like,
myself.
I want to ask so many questions, but I can't. Okay, so we've got, I know you're based in Melbourne, Diana, but we've got a question, and it's from Ulfa Jalil, and she asks, where to buy these ingredients in Sydney, especially?
In Sydney, there's a place called Paddy's Market I guess depending on where you live. So there's a place called Paddy's Market in, where is it? Like in the city, Haymarket area. And there's a market downstairs, and they have so many of these herbs. Otherwise, I've been out to Parramatta, and they also have a lot of herbs. Here in Melbourne, you can get them anywhere, especially like places like Springvale, or I go to South Melbourne Market. So there's plenty of places. Yeah, shouldn't be too hard to find, depending on where you live, I guess.
Okay, and I guess like a sort of like an Asian grocery store should have a variation of it, yeah.
And there's plenty around. Even like the supermarket, you should be able to find like lemongrass. You might not be able to find the down kadok, but you can find like coriander, Vietnamese mint, onions, everything you should be able to find. Even turmeric should be fine.
There you go. Fatih Nazira commented on YouTube, and she says Paddy's is the best place to shop all of these gems.
Very good. Paddy's on a Saturday morning has pretty much everything you need, I feel. And it's like this underground market in the middle of the city. So I'm not sure whether most people know it or not, but when I'm in Sydney and if I'm cooking there, I usually go to Paddy's. All right, so here I've got the lemongrass, or otherwise known as serai, and I've just added that in. I've chopped that up finely. So that's going to give it that really nice, like really aromatic, fragrant flavor. Now this is not, this is optional. I do it. So this is turmeric, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I love turmeric, and people make, here in Australia, it's all the craze. Everybody, there's a lot of cafes that will sell turmeric lattes and turmeric.
Yes.
That and like,
yeah.
But a lot of an Asian cooking and a lot of Indian cooking have been using turmeric for years and years and years, and and now it's suddenly a craze. So I like to just finely chop it and add it to my rice. So it's not this is obviously my version, but I love it. I think it's good, and it's got this, for those of you who have never tried turmeric, which before, it's like it's sort of like, it's a root, and it's got loads of really good properties, healing properties, and be careful because it actually stains your hand. But the smell is a little bit like ginger. It's quite piquant, like it's really nice and beautiful. Okay, now I'm gonna move on. So I've got here my coriander. Look at how big this is.
Oh, wow.
I know. It's like, so okay, a lot of people throw away the stems, and I like the stems. I eat the whole thing. I feel like that has the most flavor, and especially when you're making like curry paste, like green curry paste, or anything, always use the stems, because that's where all the flavor is to make it.
Yeah, coriander is used a lot in Asian cooking, but I do know that there is a group of people who just can't eat coriander.
Yeah,
I really feel for them though.
I know, I feel so bad because it's so good, and to people who love it, it's amazing because it's got so much flavor, right? But to people who can't stand it, it actually tastes like soap.
Yeah, it does. So apparently it's like a scientific proven. There are just two types of people. Either you love it or you hate it, but easily it can be omitted. So what I love about nasi ulam is you pretty much pick and choose which herbs, which ulam do you want to include into your rice dish.
Yeah, and you can change it up. One day you can use a different kind of herb, another day you use a different kind of herb. So it makes it really fresh and exciting, right? So you never get sick of this dish. I don't think I do. I think I eat this every day, actually.
Yeah, I could too. So we've got another question. Naziratul asked, what is the best side dish to be paired with nasi ulam?
So I usually have, when I cook this, I will do like a whole Malaysian feast. So I'll cook, or rather like a Peranakan feast. So I'll cook asam pedas usually. That's my favorite.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but usually this dish, you can have it on its own, no problem. But usually I will just make some, I'll do like asam pedas, so tamarind fish, or otherwise, you can do, anything like rendang. It goes well with as well, I think. Even if you want to do like, just like a fried chicken or something light, that's easy. Yeah. So I think it's quite versatile because it's already got, if you think about this dish, right, it's already got all those herbs in there. So you're already ticking all the boxes with your greens, and it's already got so much flavor. So all you need is something quite simple.
Yeah, it's a great sort of side dish to pair with. I'd imagine if you were to serve a potato salad, a coleslaw, you can also have a nasi ulam on the side. If you've got your friends over for a barbecue and you wanted something sort of light, fresh, and herby to complement what you're eating.
So here I'm cutting up the down kadok, which is the wild pepper leaf. And what I've done is basically to make life easier. So I've just stacked them up like that, and then you roll it. So this is called chiffonade. This is the style of cutting. You roll it into like this a roll like that, and then you slice it. So it's easier. So rather than slicing one by one, this will cut you half the time of your prepping, basically.
Yeah, a lot of chiffonading is needed to make nasi ulam. Another question, Diana, from Fatina Ziranch. She said that asam pedas is the bomb, which I agree. But then she wants to. It is, isn't it? Right. So, what is your favorite fish to use?
My favorite fish. Okay, so in Malaysia you can get like ikan pari, which is like stingray. Here a little bit hard. So what I do is I like to have it with white fish, right? So white fish is a must for me. And then I like anything that's firm and like a firm flesh fish. So things like what goes really well, like barramundi, which is so good here in Australia. Otherwise, you can get like snappers, not bad as well, or trevally, blue-eye trevally. So that's all really good options, or rockling as well. So there's a lot of. I go to the market and I just see what's in season, because I feel like that's probably the best way, that you can, best way to shop, and you just get whatever you find in season will be always the freshest.
That's very good advice.
Yeah, it is, because people often, when they read a recipe, they go, "Oh, I must get that one." But if it's a, say it's a, I don't know, like a, figs, for example, only in season for about 6 or 7 weeks in Australia, and it can be so cheap. Like a punnet of figs can be, $3 or $4 for like 6 or 7 fruits, and then in winter it's going to be so expensive. It'll cost you like $6 for one fruit. So I think it's always good to find substitutes when you're cooking, and when you're reading a recipe, find the things that are in season.
I guess it's a bit intimidating in the beginning.
It is, and of course, like cooking is all about practice, and once you get used to it, like my favorite way of cooking, honestly, Aisha, is going to the fridge and just seeing what's there. Like I'll go and I'll be like, oh, okay, I didn't realize I had that, so I'll just use up whatever. And I think that's just, for me, the easiest way to cook, because I find like a lot of things that I never actually thought I had in the fridge. And it's a big fridge clear out, basically. Okay, so now I'm moving on to the mint. So once again, pluck the leaves off the stem. You don't want to eat the stem because it's a bit, chewy. And then chop it up. The whole thing is all chopping, plucking, chopping, plucking. But it's going to come together, and it's so worth it. Okay, I promise you that.
So we've got another comment by Mardia Ramlan. She says she's mesmerized about how smooth you are chopping up all your ingredients. So that's all the years of practice.
It's okay. Really, if you don't want to do this, I mean, I guess, all the older women will be like, really wouldn't want to hear this, but, put it in a blender if you really have to. Just, like sometimes when I make like belacan, I don't pound it, but I know my mom will be like, no, you have to use the mortar and pestle. But to me, it's like, hey, I get an extra like 20 minutes rather than sitting there. Yeah, so if you really can't be bothered, you can use a food processor for this, but don't blend it, just pulse it. So pulse, and so it just cuts it like, but rather than blending it into a paste. You don't want it to be a paste. You still want to feel the herbs and like taste each herb and all the different flavors that go in. Okay, so we're down to the last 2 herbs. So I've got here some Vietnamese mint. Now this is my favorite herb. I mean, this is also known as daun kasum in
oh yes, it's got this beautiful taste, right, and smell. I love it.
It's not just the taste. I think it's the smell, and this is the must-have when you're making asam pedas. So this is the must. You need this. You need a lot of it, and I always chuck in like a whole lot, especially even when I do like asam laksa, I'll put in a lot of this. This is yeah, definitely my favorite herb. And over here they call it Vietnamese mint. Not sure why, but I never heard of it until I came here, and everyone refers to it as Vietnamese mint. But Malaysians use it just as much, I reckon.
Oh yeah, we do in pretty
Yeah,
much everything. Like you were saying, laksa, asam pedas.
yeah. And this is used in a lot of Malay cooking as well, and also just like having it as an ulam on the side. This is something that you have with just simply with the sambal belacan.
Ooh, I know, right? And hot white rice. Oh, that's perfect. We've got another question. This
Okay.
one is from Zul Amir Zulkifli, and he wants to know, what was your first impression when you first tried nasi ulam? Do you remember that?
I have to think about it because I must say, I was probably like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years old, maybe when I was a kid. So my first impression was I probably hated it, knowingly. I mean, give a 4 or 5 year old a bowl of herbs.
Yeah.
I don't think not many. I probably was like, oh, what is this? And my mom would have tried to tell me it's salad. Like it's got all the things that kids would hate. Loads of herbs and like some dried shrimp and like so weird, right? So I would say I probably didn't like it very much. But then it's one of those things. Like I think it's quite an adult palate. This one. You probably like this with also depending on where you grew up, right? I think you will be very used to eating lots of herbs if you grew up in Southeast Asia, and and this is not uncommon when you're having it. A lot of herbs is present, and maybe not so much as in visually, but we use a lot of herbs in the cooking, even in the cooking process. So like, as I said before, when you're making paste and everything, and I think a lot of our Southeast Asian palates are very used to that already. So chop this up finally, yeah? And then this.
So we've got a question from Catherine, and she asks, is it really important to slice it thin like that?
Yes, it is, because otherwise you're not getting every herb throughout. So you want it to be distributed evenly. So now you see, like in my bowl here, you can see like there is so much herbs already. So we're only one away. So I've got some this one as well, also optional. I'm just putting in some Thai basil. Like I said, I went to the market and I found all these nice herbs, and I'm like, why not use them? Because at the end of the day, it's all about the herbs. So the more herbs, the better, and it tastes really good. Thai basil, they use this a lot in pho. So like the Vietnamese beef noodle soup. You know that one, Aisha?
Yeah. It's very popular here, KL. People love it.
Yeah, and here in Australia, it's probably one of the most popular Vietnamese dishes. You go in winter, you're gonna have a bowl of pho for any time. So chop that
right.
up. And then I've got some here. I've got some cafe lime leaves. So down limau purut, which I like, which I think is really fragrant, and I use that a lot in my cooking as well. So you see what I mean? Like you can get all these ingredients here. It's very easy. And
is it difficult pairing them, or do you just put them all together? Do you know, or do you pick and choose what flavors or what herbs are better with others, or anything goes?
I think yes. I think definitely. So I think things like, okay, so for example, like, certain herbs are really strong. Like, so, for example, like coriander is quite a strong herb. So if you don't really like it, then I think you can always substitute for something a bit milder, like the Thai basil, for example. I feel that Vietnamese mint is very sharp as well, so some people might not like that, but you can definitely substitute with just some lemongrass and some mint on the side as well. So yeah, just understanding the different flavors definitely helps for sure. Okay, so add this in. Now, next part, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna add in my dried shrimp that I basically rehydrated and then I blitzed it. So what I'm going to do, I hope this bowl is big enough. Maybe I needed my bigger bowl. So we haven't actually done any cooking. It's all just chopping and plucking the herbs and then mixing it together. So I'm just going to mix this through, and it's just going to come together. It's going to be really nice and colorful. So you need, once again, you need warm rice. You don't want cold rice. And the reason being is because then when it's warm, it just, the rice, they don't stick together. So it's better and it's coated evenly with all the herbs. So, and also it adopts the flavor of the herbs better, I find. If you use cold, when you eat this dish cold, it's very different when you have it warm. It's like a warm salad. Okay.
Yeah, I think rice is one thing that has to be, it doesn't have to be piping hot, but it needs to be warm. You cannot eat rice out of the fridge, straight out of the fridge. You need to reheat it somehow, steam it or something.
100%. And I find like, I don't like eating cold food most of the time, unless it's just a salad. But yeah, this is the exception to the rule, really. Okay, so I'm going to add in my dried shrimp and mix that through as well. So this will give it, remember, this is already slightly salty. So it's going to make it, it's going to give it that saltiness already. So when you're adding salt later, just taste as you go. So you can see it's really nice and colorful already. It looks really vibrant. Now I'm going to add in my desiccated coconut, which I just love the smell of this. And then I blitz it and I make carisette with it, and that goes into my rendang.
Yeah, this is a must. You must have the desiccated coconut, the carisette.
Yeah, absolutely, because this will give it also that nice crunch. And every bite you have, you taste a little bit of coconut, you taste a little bit of the shrimp, and then also the herbs. So this is, this will make it very, very tasty. Okay, so mix that through. And then what I do as well, and this is, once again, this is my way of doing it. I like to serve my nasi ulam with some sambal belacan on the side, but I also like to mix it through. So I'll put like one big teaspoon into my rice, just to get a little bit of that flavor through as well. And the other thing that's quite important is, and this is, depending on whether or not you want to serve your nasi ulam, is fried salted fish. So like you can
yes.
So you can fry it and then you can pop it on top. And I love that. And I've got some actually. So you want to serve that with that. So you just have to fry it and then you pop it on top, and it tastes like this crispy, like keropok kind of thing. Okay, so now I guess I'm just gonna pop some salt in, just to make sure that it's flavored properly. I think a lot of people forget to salt their dishes, but this is definitely a must. Okay.
Right. No, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have thought to salt this dish.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. I would, if I made like a nasi goreng, I'd definitely salt it. But nasi ulam, well, to tell you the truth, although I'm a huge fan of nasi ulam, if there is an option to go for nasi ulam, I will. But I haven't prepared it at home because it's all that cutting. But now I'm gonna shamelessly blitz it, pulse it in the food processor.
Definitely do that. You know what? If you're time for, it's definitely something you can definitely do. No one's gonna judge. No one will judge.
I just won't tell my mom either.
All right, so I've got some chilies here. Also, I'm just adding it in just purely for color, because I like my food to be colorful and vibrant. So that's it, pretty much. What you want to do, of course, is taste it. Perfect. So I think, if I say so myself, yeah. Now you can. There's different variations. My mom likes to add a bit of lime juice when she's making this.
Okay.
Just through the all the flavors, and then I think the lime really brings it to life as well. So as I said, it's a personal taste thing. So I'm gonna pop it out, and then I'll take a picture and you guys can have a look as well. So
I
you
think you
see,
got a lot of people reminiscing or missing home, especially the food. A lot of comments. People say, "Oh my God, ikan kering is the best,"
I know.
and they absolutely are wishing they were there to be able to eat it.
So you see here, I think it looks rather vibrant, and you can't tell me like that is not a beautiful plate of and healthy looking dish, that makes you just want to dig in. Look at it. It's so
Oh,
nice.
that is beautiful.
Everyone I've made this for has loved it. I think it's just one of those dishes that's it's just so wholesome. It's wholesome. That's what I think. So then, yeah, you just serve it on the side with your sambal belacan, and that's it. And then you can put some
Yay!
ikan kering on the top, and you're ready to go, basically.
Oh man, that looks amazing. And yeah, it is actually a very easy to prepare. The only cooking you need to do is just make sure you cook your rice beforehand. And then the rest is just adding and mixing. So, question is by Izat, and she wants to know is, can I include black pepper? Would you, when you salt it, would you season?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no problem. Black pepper's fine. Not really,
All right.
not really needed though, but if you want to, absolutely, no problem.
Mm, mm.
Fine when is that yeah, when you eat this dish you will realize how like already quite peppery, like especially the daun kesum. If you try it on its own, if you get your hands on them, just try it. It's actually really peppery. So it's a bit like rocket leaves, for example. It's already got that sort of like pepperiness to it naturally. So yeah.
Oh gosh, I can't wait to make that dish. But next, you have something else for us.
Absolutely.
What are you doing? What are you doing next?
So I have a range of dumplings that I sell at Coles and Woolworths through a company called Golden Walk, and it's been really popular. So naturally, I thought it would be a really cute one to show everyone how to make your own dumplings at home if you are not able to, buy my dumplings, or even just, not able to, get all the if you have the ingredients and you just want to make it. I think it's a really fun activity, even like especially in these times when everyone's in lockdown. It's always nice to cook your own meal at home and with the family. So let's crack on and make some prawn dumplings. Okay, so here I've got some beautiful king prawns. I have some wonton skins. You can make this, but I suggest if you don't have time to just go and buy it, because it's so good bought. Like,
Yeah, it is.
It's actually it's cheap and it's like perfect, and let the experts do it. It's so easy. I tried making my dumpling skins before and it's just like, oh my God, like just go and buy it. Seriously.
Do you know what, Diana? If you tried making your own dumpling skins and then you were like, oh my gosh, this is tough, think of what we're going to go through to try and make it.
It's fun, and I think if you're making a big batch, the other thing is when you're making dumplings, you want to make a big batch. So I think definitely, get all hands on board, like get everyone in the family involved, and this is a group activity, I would say.
Okay, so for everybody who's watching, welcome to Malaysia Fest virtual event. I'm with Diana Chan, celebrity chef, and we're just talking about what we're going, the two dishes that Diana is showing us how to make. Earlier we made nasi ulam, and now we've got prawn dumplings. So if you've got any questions, you can just put it in the comment section. Are you guys watching on Instagram or YouTube? Just put it in the comment section, and then we've got our team, and they will pluck them out, and then we'll try and get them answered.
Okay, so let's make some dumplings. Okay. All right. So in this bowl, so once again, right? So you can add anything in dumplings. I think there's dumplings in virtually almost every culture. Like Nepalese have their dumplings called momos. Turkish have mantis. Italians, they have tortellinis and raviolis, like filled pastas, which is also technically a form of a dumpling, right? So in Asia, we also have our own kind of dumplings, and in Malaysia especially, we have a lot of wontons. So filled wontons, and then you have it as a wonton soup, or you can have fried ones. You can have them steamed. Nowadays, I think a lot of people pop them in their air fryer because it's all the craze, isn't it? So
Yeah.
so it's easy, like it's so easy, and you can fill it with anything you want. Chicken, you can use pork, you can use prawns, you can use scallops, you can use fish. Like the options are endless when you're making a dumpling, and I think it's just a really nice one to do with your family at home as well. So what I've got here is I've got some beautiful prawns. I'm going to add in today. I'm going to add in some spring onions. So I'm just going to chop that up quite finely again. You can use things like chives as another. If you don't like spring onions, although I think spring onions is, a lot of people love spring onions. So, and you can chop and change and mix it up. Put whatever you feel like, honestly. So any sort of herbs that you want to add in, go for your life. So I'm going to add in some, I probably cut up about half a bunch, but just on the bottom of it. So I'm going to add that to my bowl. And then I've also got some coriander, which I'm going to add in. So this part here, I'm just going to add all the coriander in. So chop that up finely again.
So a question from Hazel. And Hazel wants to know, what prawns are best used for making the dumpling.
Any prawns, to be honest, because you're not really you can use as in these are frozen prawns. So I bought them from the market, and I always have seafood in my freezer. So I freeze them so that whenever I need them, I can just defrost it in the morning. So these here are the beautiful king prawns, which are from Queensland, so they're local. But tiger prawns, you can use any local prawns, even shrimp, baby shrimp, also works well. And you can mix it. There's no rule about, in a dumpling you can only have one sort of protein. You can even use tofu. I've done mushroom ones as well. So when truffles,
nice.
Yeah, when truffles are in season in June to August, around that time in Australia, I usually put truffles and mushrooms in my dumplings, and it's so beautiful. So you can mix it up, and then ginger. So we're gonna add some ginger to this. A little trick for those who, sometimes when you're peeling ginger, you get too much and you use a knife and you cut out too much of the flesh. If you use just the back of a teaspoon, you can get through all the corners and all the grooves, so you don't actually waste a lot of the flesh.
Yeah, that's another trick my mum taught me too. That's an easy one. Just use the back of a spoon or the sharp part. Yeah.
So that's a good tip. And then what we're going to do is we're going to grate it in. I love ginger and spring onion. To me, is like the perfect combo in Chinese cooking. I find. So I always add ginger in a lot of my Chinese cooking, and you just want to grate that. The reason I grate it is because you don't want chunks of ginger in your dumpling.
Yeah, that's right. It'll shock you if you're not used to the taste. So another question by Ulfa Jalil, and she asked, okay, so for the dumpling wraps, your wonton skin, what's it made of? She wants to know, is it gluten-free? Is it considered gluten-free?
No, it's not. Although, no, these ones aren't. So these ones are flour, eggs, and water. So that's.
Is there a gluten-free option?
There is. So like when you have hagao, when you go for dim sum, those prawn dumplings, those are gluten-free skins. So what they use for those is glutinous rice flour with a bit of tapioca flour, and mix it together until you get a dough.
Right.
So if who asked the question?
I think that was Ulfa. Ulfa.
Yeah. if you want, you can just message me on Instagram, and I actually have a recipe that I can send it across to you. So no problem. Yeah, you can make it on your own easily, very easy to make those ones. Okay, so yeah, moving on. We've got the ginger in there, so a decent amount. Entirely up to you how much you want, but I've put about half an inch of ginger in there, and then we're just gonna add the prawns. So I would say around about like a bowl full, or like 250 grams or so. Now you can obviously, once again, put this in the blender, but I thought I'd just show you how to do it by hand for those who don't have a blender at home. But you can definitely just chop it up, and that's all you want to do. Chop it up, and then make sure you get it like smaller pieces. It don't have to be too fussy with it. Just pretty much, basically, you're chopping it up. That's it. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And can you freeze dumplings? Is it possible to sort of do it beforehand and then freeze it? And then so therefore that question, actually that was a question by Taufik. It's like, how long can it last if you freeze it?
Okay, absolutely, perfectly fine. Now, a good tip when you're freezing, and not just dumplings, anything for that matter, if you want to let it hold its shape, like even if you're freezing like gnocchi, or if you're freezing any sort of like seafood or whatever, what I do is I put it on a flat tray, and then so I make my dumplings, pop it onto a flat tray, because you're going to make a whole batch anyway. Pop it onto a flat tray, let it freeze first. Once it's frozen, then you can put it into a bag or into a like a container, because it's already held its shape. So put it on a tray, and then later on, once it's frozen, you can pop it into something else. Okay, so basically, we're just chopping it up into like little small pieces like that, and it's already got enough like stickiness. So I think you don't need to add. If you find it a little bit not wet enough, sometimes you can and you want it to bind more, you can add just half a teaspoon of corn flour. But yeah, these ones seem okay. Yeah, so I'm happy with those. You just want to mix that through, and it really smells really good. Smells really good and delicious. And this mixture here should make around, I would say, 20. Yeah, so the recipe should make around 20 pieces. Yeah. All right. So now the flavoring. So at the moment, it's only got all the herbs and the ginger as the flavoring. So you want to add a little bit of seasoning. So I've got here some sesame oil. So you can go about half a teaspoon in here. So careful when you use sesame oil. It's really strong. It's really strong, and I think you should use it sparingly, because a little goes a long way. And then I've got some soy sauce. So let's go with a tablespoon of soy. And this is Shaoxing wine, so Chinese rice wine, cooking wine. And you just
what's an alternative to that though, if you don't cook with wine?
You don't need to use it. This just gives it that sort of like that sort of, you can use you can use sherry as well, but if you don't want to have any alcohol, bear in mind when you're cooking with alcohol, it actually cooks it out, so it no longer, the alcohol is burnt off. So when you're cooking, when you're deglazing a pan, like making sauces, and you put white wine, it actually burns off. So you pretty much
okay.
Yeah, so good.
But
good
vinegar?
One. Yeah, good one.
Could you use? Sorry.
Yeah. So now, well, you can use. I mean, look, you don't need it. You really, it's not. It's there because it gives an extra flavor. But if you really, I really can't find a substitute for alcohol.
How about like vinegar? So maybe rice vinegar, or
you can use vinegar, but vinegar has a taste, whereas this is just more there for it's just more there to bind, and it's a little bit different when you're cooking with alcohol. It's there for a purpose, like to deglaze or whatever you might use it for. All right, and then I am going to add in. So I like to use in Chinese cooking white pepper. So just a touch here, So just to make it, I think it's a little bit less strong and bitey than black pepper. So you want to do that, and I'm gonna get a thing here, and just gonna shut this down. Okay, so what we're gonna do now, the fun part begins. So I'm gonna show you a few ways of folding. Okay, so snip this open, and then, so you know they come in packs of like 200 or something. So ridiculous, right?
Wow, so you actually have to peel it off one by one. So what if you accidentally take 2 layers? You know, you don't really get down to that last layer. Is that fine?
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to be quite thick though. So you do want to just stick to one. Otherwise, it's just going to be too thick and the inside might not cook properly. So do one. They come off really easily. So they're all coated with corn flour anyway. So that's why they don't stick, which is easy. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to fold dumplings. So using, I think 1 heaped teaspoon is the perfect amount. Maybe a bit more, depending on the wrapper. Okay, and then with your, so I'll pull this up here so you can see. Now, I've got here a little ramekin with water, and I'm just going to run my finger around the outside of the dumpling wrapper. Okay. The reason you do that is so that it helps it bind and stick. So this is one option of wrapping. So let's go with the very simple one, yeah? Okay. Fold it into a triangle, and then just seal the sides. Okay, so that's one. Like this.
All right.
Okay, so it's so easy, right? I mean, who can't do that? Kids can do that.
Simple enough.
So this is a good one to fry. I find this is a good one to deep fry. Reason being, there's a lot of pastry, so when you fry it, it's very crispy and it's super yum. So only the middle part, it has got the filling. So whereas you got a lot of pastry on the side. So this is a really good one to fry. Now, next one, let's move up and change it up a bit. So I'm just going to add in the middle. And as I said before, you can add in, any sort of, you can add in some chilies as well if you want. But I usually like to serve mine with some chili on the side. So the next one I'm going to show you. So fold it in half. So top to bottom, like that. And then you're going to seal it. Okay, and now it's very important that you seal the sides, because you don't want, when you're boiling or you're steaming or you're frying, for that matter, when you're cooking it, you don't want any liquid or any oil to go inside. Okay, so you want to really get rid of any air pockets. So what I tend to do is I place it down and then I press it with the back of my finger, press it outwards, and then you get this, pretty much very tight little parcel. Okay, and then you flip it over and then wet on one side or one corner and pull it across and fold one over the other.
Yes. Okay, I've seen dumplings like that before. Okay, so easy to do.
Yes, easy, right? And I think it's one of those things easier to watch and learn than to read it. Like, I don't even know how to explain this by words. Fold over.
Yeah.
It's like,
I know, tuck it in.
Yes, exactly. So I'll show that again, because I think that's quite a fun one. So you can, basically do that in the middle. I think a few tips here. Do not overfill the dumpling. So I think a lot of people, when they're making dumplings, they put like a whole big tablespoon of filling inside, and then it starts to come out, and they're like, oh, why can't I close my dumpling and keep seeping outside? It's because you overfilled it. So don't overfill your dumpling.
Atika, sorry, I've got a question from Emily. Emily wants to know do you have a preference when it comes to the shape of your dumplings that you make? Square or circle?
Yeah, as I said before, it depends how I'm cooking my dumplings. So if I'm frying it, if I'm deep frying it, and I want to have it with like some mayo or like some tomato ketchup or whatever, or chili sauce, I will always, kind of like do any shape that has a lot of the pastry on the side, the dough. But if I'm steaming them, I generally like this one. I don't know the names for them, but yeah, this is how I generally would. You can get the round ones as well, and they're exactly the same. Like you can sometimes the round pastry is eggless. So if you're vegan, that's a good option as well to use those ones. There you go.
Beautiful.
So, and then maybe we'll do one more, just so people can have a play at home on the different variations that you can do. So I've got here, you can do like a little diamond shape, fold it in half, and then what you can do is flip it across, over, and then pull the sides together, and you get this a little triangle one. So you see there's so many ways in which you can fold your dumplings. I think the opportunities are endless, and you just have a play. Actually, just have a play, but keep in mind those rules. Don't overfill it. Make sure you seal the sides and get rid of all the air pockets. And however way you want to fold it, it's entirely go for your life. Have fun with it. Making dumplings is meant to be fun, and it's like I think a really cool group activity, which I'm sure a lot of people know and already do at home. So just think of it as a fun thing to do.
All right. Thank you so much, Jenna, for the wonderful demonstration on how to prepare dumplings and how to fold them mainly. And then nasi ulam. So you have a little pop quiz session that you're actually going to ask a question to everybody.
Okay, so my pop quiz question is, what are the 2 main herbs that you need in nasi ulam? The 2 main ones, which I mentioned at the start of the cook, or of the demo, rather.
Right, the 2 main herbs that are needed to make nasi ulam.
Yes. Green.
Okay, I'm thinking now.
Yeah,
green and leafy.
Green and leafy, and it's one of the few that I had here. So yeah, I don't want to say too much. It's green and one I said was the most important, and the other one as well.
All right, so we're going to wait for everybody to comment your answer in the chat group right now, in the comment space right now, and you will actually stand a chance to win a 1-night stay at the Grace Hotel in Sydney. Also, whilst we're waiting for people to send in their answers, I've got a little reminder for everybody. You have 15 minutes from now to register on the special link or the secret link that's been provided. It has been released in the comment section. So make sure you actually click on that link, follow it, and it will take you to a registration page. And this will allow you to take part in the lucky draw, our Wheel of Fortunes themed lucky draw that we're going to be doing later on. So make sure you do that. But for now, though, do we have people sending in the answers? So is that the answer? I think we have one right now.
Yeah, we do.
Nur Atika, Ulfa Jalil. Okay, Ulfa has been watching and asking questions throughout the session. Is this correct? Wild pepper leaf and mint leaf.
Yes, correct.
That is correct. Yes, congratulations to Ulfa. You just won yourself 1-night stay at the Grace Hotel in Sydney.
Amazing. Well done. Congratulations.
Right. Thank you so much, Diana, for your time. Thank you so much for running us through and reminding us how easy it is actually to prepare Asian food. There's nasi ulam, gorgeous, nasi but healthy version.
If you guys make this, tag me. I want to see.
Oh, yes. And also prawn dumpling. Once again, if you want the recipes, it's going to be on the Malaysia Fest website and also their Instagram. Okay, so congratulations again for the winner. And this also ends the session for Diana today. Thank you so much, Diana, for the insightful information, and also the fun cooking demonstration, and to help, you know, build our confidence. Because tell you the truth, I live in Malaysia. I love nasi ulam and also dumplings, but I've never attempted it at home. I
Uh,
really just haven't.
and now you can. Now you know you've seen it, and now there's no reason why you can't, right?
I know, right? Thank you so much for bringing my confidence level up a step. And I know a lot of people watching are thinking that too. So thanks again, Dinah.
Thank
And you know, we
you.
hope we get the chance to collaborate once again in the future. Would you like to say a few words before you go off?
Absolutely. Well, thank you for everyone joining in today. I hope you enjoyed that. I love just being able to share a lot of my Malaysian heritage here in Australia, and I think it's a cuisine that's yet to be put on the world level, and I hope I'm doing my part as a Malaysian and showing that. And one day hopefully I get to soon come back to Malaysia and do this live as well. And hopefully this time next year, when we do this Malaysia Fest, I can be there in person in Sydney as well. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I wish stay safe, everyone, and have a good weekend.
Thank you so much, Dana. You stay safe too. And yeah, I share the sentiments. The next time we meet, you're lovely. If it were in person, where we all get to eat your food rather than just watch you do it.
Thanks. Bye. See ya.
Bye. Wasn't that wonderful? Thank you so much again, Diana, for sharing that with us. It's true. I love nasi ulam. I love dumplings. I just never have had the chance to do it at home. Um, I love cooking, but as long as it's easy. But then we all got to see how easy that was. Okay, so just a reminder on the screen right now, here's a little link, the secret link for day 3. Make sure you register your name because we'll be having a lucky draw, a wheel of fortune later on. We've also got another contest. We're going to call out to all students in Australia. There's a chance to win a travel voucher with Malaysia Airlines. We're giving away two. They're worth $500 each. And all you need to do is join the contest, which will end on the 26th of September, and travel once the international borders reopen. So this is the MH Explorer, the sign up, comment, and comment. Okay, let me read this again. The MH Explorer sign up, comment, and win. So everybody can join now. The details are at the Malaysia Fest Instagram. And also you can just follow the link that's on the screens right now. Terms and conditions apply. Okay, so we're done with our demo. Our next session coming up is the Wheel of Fortune Lucky Draw. So for those of you who have registered, and the secret link, again, it's flashing on the screen right now. It was shared throughout our 3 days. You know, make sure you guys have already filled that in because you stand a chance to win some really amazing prizes. I'm just going to remind them what's up for grabs. We've got travel vouchers. We have got hotel stay. We have got the Apple AirPod Pro and also the iPad Pro. So that's the first prize and the grand prize. So that's really fun. It's going to be happening really, really soon. So for now, though, we are going to take a quick break. So everybody, you can, take a toilet break, go get yourself some snacks, go, stand up, walk around a bit, maybe check your ingredients in the fridge to see if you have anything you need to make nasi ulam or prawn dumpling. But make sure that you come back around, I believe, around 3:10 p.m. 3:10 p.m. Australia time, and make sure that you stick around. So if you are watching from Malaysia, that's actually at 1:10 p.m., but 3:10 p.m., and make sure you come back for then because you're going to have to physically be around to take part in the lucky draw. Okay, so I guess we're going to take a quick break right now. I'll see you guys back at 3:10 for our lucky draw. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. I do hope that you are still here with us right now because we're about to start the Wheel of Fortune lucky draw. So we're waiting for all of the names just to be entered. The team is working on that in the back on the back end. Now, I just want to remind you guys now, if you were around during the first day of the event, we had a little video which was about Malaysian fruits, a trivia on Malaysian fruits. You can actually order those two fruits that were eaten. It was they ate, those who participated in the video took part. They ate Musang King durian, and also honey jackfruit. You can actually order your own frozen pack from Rockman. There's going to be a link that will be shared. So just enter the code MFES 2021 for you to receive a free box of durian mochi. And there's a deal that ends on the 17th of November. We just want to say thank you so much to Rockman for doing that and also for helping to bring Malaysian fruits all over the world so that, you know what, we can still have a taste of Malaysia. Now, we have over 300 names of people who have registered for the lucky draw. Of course, because the prizes are pretty cool. We've got a hotel stay at the Grace Hotel in Sydney. We've got 500 ringgit, sorry, $500 worth of a travel voucher from Malaysian Airlines. We have got uh, Apple AirPods and also an Apple iPad Pro. Goodness, iPad Pro. That is the grand prize. So obviously you guys want to take part in that. But if you have registered your name, in order for you to qualify or get that prize, you need to be sitting in front of the screen when you hear your name being called. If the wheel lands on your name, because you need to, you'll have 30 seconds. You need to comment, yes, I'm here. And make sure when you sign up and when you registered, you actually use the name, the same name as your user profile, because that's how we can actually know that it is you. So I believe, are we ready to have the wheel? Is the wheel ready? And this question I'm going to pose to the people in the back end. If the wheel is ready, can you just type yes in the, oh, yes, it is ready. There you go. Over 300 names, guys. Extra prize if you can spot your name on the screen. Nah, kidding. I'm sure you can't. Okay, so we are going to start off with our first spin. As you can see here, we've got a virtual wheel with all of the names of those who have registered through the secret link provided throughout the 3-day live stream event. I do hope that, you know, we have our winners here. They're sitting in front of our screens. All right, guys, remember you have 30 seconds to respond in the comment section that you are present in order for you to claim your prize. Now, we're going to start off with the third prize, and then we will be moving upwards from there. So for the third prize, the winner will get an overnight stay at the Grace Hotel in Sydney. So let's see who's the lucky one. All right, let's spin the wheel. Who could it be? Could it be you? 300 people registered throughout the day. Okay, and the name is about to appear on the screen. Amirul Hakimi. All right, first of all, we got to make sure that Amirul Hakimi is here. Amirul, you have 30 seconds. And we're going to start the timer right now. I'm going to be checking. Ada Amirul tak di sini? Okay, tak ada Amirul. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I saw it. Amirul Hakimi did respond. So congratulations, Amirul. You just got yourself one night stay at the Grace Hotel in Sydney. Okay, now for the second prize. All right, what have we got for the second prize? We have got a travel voucher sponsored by Malaysia Airlines worth up to $500. If you want to travel internationally, that is possible, but you're going to have to wait for the borders to open. Okay, for the Malaysia Airlines voucher, we're going to move along to second prize for Malaysia Airlines voucher. Let us spin the wheel. Who could it be? 300 names. And you can use this travel voucher to go anywhere you want. Let's wait for the name to pop up. Adlin Sharifuddin. Congratulations, Adlin Sharifuddin. You have 30 seconds to comment in the YouTube link or Instagram, wherever you're watching this, and your 30 seconds starts now. Congratulations to Adlin Sharifuddin for winning the second prize. Travel vouchers worth $500. It's exactly how it is. Adlin took like, what, 3 seconds to respond? So remember, guys, every time you read your name, you've got 30 seconds to quickly comment that you are here. If not, we're going to have to pull another name out, especially this is on YouTube. Make sure you comment on YouTube. Okay, now this is the first prize, which is a pair of Apple AirPod Pros. I can never say this, even though I have it. Apple AirPod Pro. Who's it going to be this time? Let's spin the wheel. Apple AirPod Pros up for grabs this time round. Who is it going to be landing on? Are you the lucky one? Is your name Nur Asniza Muhammad Yusuf? Because if that is you, Asniza, you have 30 seconds to comment in the YouTube comment section right now. We're going to set a timer. Let's go, 30 seconds. Congratulations to Asniza, who quickly commented inside at the YouTube comment section and has claimed the first prize, which is a pair of Apple AirPod Pro. Now, guys, it is going to be the grand prize, the Apple iPad Pro. Okay, let us spin the wheel to see if this person is here. Spin the wheel, please. Okay, is your name Shafizal Shazli Salehuddin? Because if that is your name, quickly comment. You have 30 seconds to comment. Yes, teacher, I'm here to claim the prize. 30 seconds starts now. So Did our winner comment? Is our winner here? Shafizal. Is Shafizal here? Oh my gosh, I'm actually going through all the comments right now to see whether Shafizal had actually identified himself. Oh my gosh, guys, Shafizal is not here. So we are going to have to spin the wheel one more time to pull out another name. So please, if Shafizal was your friend, maybe you don't want to tell them what they missed out on, yeah? Okay, let's spin the wheel one more time. The grand prize of the Apple iPad Pro is still up for grabs. Okay, I know this is the part in the lucky draw where everyone's like, yes, yes, one man's loss is another man's gain. Jake Chen, are you still here, Jake Chen? Please, we've got an Apple iPad Pro with your name on it. You have 30 seconds to comment on the YouTube comment section right now. 30 seconds starts now. All right, congratulations to Jake. You have actually, you were here, so congratulations to you. You were here. You actually, yep. We definitely we saw your comment. You're here. The Apple iPad Pro is yours. Congratulations. All of us are extremely envious of you. So congrats to all of our winners, those who have taken part, in the little pop quiz earlier with Diana. Congratulations to those of you who took part in the lucky draw Wheel of Fortune. To all of our winners. Also, there is another contest for you to take part in, the MH Explorer contest. Just make sure you find out more at the Malaysia Fest Instagram. Okay. We have now come to the end of the Malaysia Fest Goes Online event. It has been quite a fun one. It's been a great experience to host this event, and I hope everyone enjoyed themselves. Look, regardless of whether you attended only today's event or the previous events, we hope that you've learned something new, to experience a little bit of Malaysia, what we call home. So if you want to find out more about MFest or see the other events that you've missed out in the past 2 days, you can check out MFest social media platforms. They've got Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Just search for Malaysia Fest, at Malaysia Fest, and those accounts will definitely pop up. Or you could actually go to their website. That's www.malaysiafest.com.au. Use the hashtag to search for them, hashtag Diverse Malaysia and MFest Goes Online. If you posted any pictures on social media, also use those two hashtags so that we can find you. So make sure you follow them, use the hashtag, show them as much support and as much love. It has been an honor working with this really wonderful team of students who are all volunteers and are doing this possibly because of homesickness, but at the same time, proudly to showcase what Malaysia has to offer on the global level. So would like to say thank you so much to all of our collaborators, to the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Industries, especially all of the supporting agencies for being behind us and believing in us all this while, including all participating sponsors that have contributed to the success of this event. Regardless of where you are at the moment, please take care and stay safe. And tahun depan kita jumpa lagi. We'll see you again next year. Take care, bye. Bye, guys.
Salam sejahtera. I am Ibrahim Khalid, CEO of Malaysia Festival 2021. It is with great pleasure for me to say a few words at the end of this 3-day online event. The pandemic has hit us hard again this year and has been a challenge for us to organize this event. Therefore, for the first time ever in 31 years, MFest decided to go online to ensure all our audience members can experience the unique and diverse Malaysian culture and join in the fun from the comfort of their home. The FS team would like to express great honor and gratitude for having had the opportunity to organize this event with the full support from Education Malaysia Australia and to collaborate with Ministry of Agriculture and Food Industry Mafia Malaysia and Tourism Malaysia. We also would like to express our thanks to all participating sponsors for whom without their full support, we wouldn't have had the event as big as it is. We are very happy and delighted. For this year, we managed to have a brilliant and amazing performances from special guests Aisha Sinclair, Jackie M, Diana Chan, and Yala Dennis Theatre. They are very, very amazing and it has been a blast working with them to make this event a success.